Mirror, mirror on the wall, which sign hates money and comfort most of all? Not you, Taurus risings. Y'all love those things, but for a very beautiful reason. So what's up, my little buttercups? How are y'all doing today? Before we deep dive into what it's like to have a Taurus ascendant, let's first look at what the ascendant is in astrology. If you are new to astrology, then know that the rising sign and the ascendant mean the exact same thing. And your rising sign was the sign that was rising in the eastern horizon at the exact time that you were born. Now, your ascendant is the lens in which you view the world and also how the world views you. And if you're a curious little critter like myself, then you will want to watch my video called The True Meaning of the Ascendant. I go over in better detail what your rising sign is. In this video, we are going to focus on what it's like to have this rising sign with the Taurus energy mixed in. Now, to me, the rising sign is the sign that you rise into. So a Taurus rising can be on this sliding scale on how evolved or unevolved they are. We will go over what this scale looks like and what an evolved Taurus looks like versus an unevolved Taurus rising in this video. Also remember, your rising sign is one part of your natal chart. And I've said this in a lot of my videos. There are hundreds of combinations of energies within your chart that can affect all your placements. So note that this is a very general reading over just one aspect of potential energy that's in your field. Only take what resonates for you. My little Taurus risings are some beautiful people, and they know that they are beautiful. Their ruling planet is Venus, which represents beauty and comforts in life. And my Taurus risings are naturally pretty or handsome, and most like keeping a natural look about them or wearing natural fibers. And even if they do wear makeup, they probably stick with earth tones or nude colors. They can like a more natural look. You know, Mimi from Drew Carey was probably not a Taurus rising. They are not the ones for the big blue eyeshadow and maybe the yellows or the purples or the different colored hair. Unless, you know, like they're dressing up for Halloween or something like that. Their everyday makeup probably is more earthy colors. And because they are so naturally pretty, they can actually stir up some jealousy in others. And they can find that others make comments about their looks or their weight. Suzanne Summers had a Taurus rising, and she talked about how her dad would call her fat. And we both know that Suzanne Summers was not fat. She was pretty. And it doesn't even have to be apparent. Some Taurus risings grow up with amazing parents. A Taurus rising can have people judge their looks who are past lovers, coworkers, even friends. I mean, it really can be anyone. But the good thing is that most of the time the Taurus rising has enough inner confidence to know that they are strong and they can make it on their own regardless of what anybody thinks about them. The hate can really motivate them. Taurus rising natives are not afraid to work or to make money. Snoop Dogg has this placement. What did he say? I have my mind on my money and my money on my mind. He started out young working at a grocery store making money, and then he found out that he could make a lot more money selling drugs. Now, it sent him down a path nonetheless, but he did chase that money. And a lot of Taurus risings do. They are an earth sign. they can love things associated with the physical world. So they can make sure that they have the money to enjoy all the physical comforts that this world can provide. They can have a nice home that they can show off, and they can always smell so good. And they have the warmest, fuzziest blankets and candles lit in their home, and they have their fridges stocked with good quality ingredients. And you want to know something that's really sweet about Taurus risings? When they're evolved, they can be some of the best providers of the zodiac. They want their family to live in comfort and style and to have the best of the best. And they can work to provide this and to give this to their family. Speaking of giving, hey y'all, I just wanted to break in and announce that I recently got to 300 subscribers and I am absolutely ecstatic. So to celebrate, I am going to be doing a giveaway where I give one lucky subscriber or someone that comments on any of my videos from here until November 30th, 2024. You enter in for a chance to win the Spirit Junkie 52 card deck of affirmations. Now this one is my own personal deck that I have, but I absolutely love it. So I wanted to go and get another deck and share it with one of my subscribers or people that comment on my video. So just look at all of these beautiful colors and stunning artwork on all of these cards. I mean, they're all so pretty. I don't even know which one to pick a favorite. And I love colors. Like, I'm a Lily Pulitzer kind of girl, and I love colors. I really like all of the artwork in here. And there's also great messages. Like, it's not just the artwork. Let's draw one. Let's see what special message we'll have from Spirit today. I just like getting the different affirmations. The one that I picked. Send a prayer. I send a prayer of love to all beings in need of a miracle. All right, so someone needed to hear that today. So today I sent a prayer of love to all beings in need of a miracle. How beautiful. So if you would like, just leave a comment on any video. I will put your name in a jar, and at the end of the month of November, I will select someone and I will get this beautiful deck to you free of charge. You just have to be a part of my gang. Ain't those just darling? Now, my Taurus risings are typically really good with money. They can track things, and they are the ones that can notice if something is missing or has been moved. So they are very good at keeping up with their money. Now, as far as how they spend it, they are the ones that can save and be frugal in some areas and then use that money saved on something extravagant. Let's say, for example, they put something in the back of their toilet to make the toilet not use as much water when they flush so they can save money on their water bill. So they save a few dollars there, okay? But then they go and they spend, let's say, $500 on their kid's birthday party because it will make them happy. However they spend it, they keep track of it. And don't be moving their stuff around the house. They know where everything is at. My little Taurus risings, they have a unique relationship with their siblings if they have any. They have the sibling dynamic where they've had their ups and downs and they've not always gotten along, but they love each other nonetheless because they are family. A Taurus rising can be very protective over their siblings and eventually their nieces and nephews. They may have their disagreements and there may be some emotional moments, but a Taurus rising just can't always drop their siblings. They also may find that at some point in life, they've had to take care of their siblings or their nieces or nephews. Home life can manifest in a couple different ways for a Taurus rising. There is usually a spotlight on someone in their childhood, whether the spotlight is on their parents or on them. Taurus risings have Leo in their 4th house. And Leo is represented by the sun. So it's very possible for them to have a father who is warm and affectionate. The 4th house is ruled by Cancer, and the moon is ruled by Cancer. So when I think of the luminaries in astrology, which are like the sun and the moon, I associate the sun with the father and the moon with the mother. So a Taurus rising has Leo, which is ruled by the sun, coming into the house that is ruled by the moon. A Taurus rising could find that they have a parent in the spotlight with this placement. Miley Cyrus has her ascendant in Taurus, and her dad is Billy Ray Cyrus, and he was a singer before she was born. Liza Minnelli has this placement, and her mother was Judy Garland. It can literally be your mother or your father that could be in the spotlight with this placement. And when I say spotlight, I don't mean that one of your parents had to be world famous. It's possible they were famous or well known in the area that you lived in. Maybe they were a well-known doctor or a well-known lawyer, or maybe they were a popular professor or a principal at a school, or maybe a preacher. Your parents could have owned a car dealership where the last name was known. Usually Taurus risings have parents that just stand out for some reason, at least one of them. They could have been the news anchor for the news in your area, or the weatherman. Or you could have had your parents in the arts, maybe they sang or danced or acted. Mariah Carey has her ascendant in Taurus, and her mom was an opera singer. Or maybe your parents modeled. Robert Pattinson, the guy from Twilight movies, has this, and his mom was a model. It doesn't always have to be a good reason that your parents are in the spotlight, though. They could be in the spotlight for awful reasons too. Maybe they're the town drunk, or made the newspaper because they went on a crime spree. And it's possible that with this placement, the spotlight was put on you as a child. And this can also be a good or a bad thing. It really manifests in two ways if the spotlight was on you. It's possible that you were the special child. Maybe your parents had all girls and then they finally had a boy, or they had kids and you were the baby or came long after your other siblings. Maybe you were the very first kid or the first grandkid. You can be the only child with this placement. Or you could have really liked hobbies that put you in the spotlight, like dancing or acting or singing where you perform. And your parents could have supported this and let you be the star of the show. Or it could have manifested in a not so good way, like the spotlight being on you to take care of the family or your siblings while your parents worked or traveled or was out of the house. You could have had some type of responsibility thrown on you as a child. You were the special one that was picked out to take care of the rest. Snoop Dogg had to work at a grocery store to help his family pay the bills. He had to help his siblings out. Suzanne Summers had to help her siblings through the abuse of their father. So if you're a Taurus rising, who was the spotlight on when you were a child? Let me know all about it. Actually, the one reason that Taurus risings are so loyal is this Leo in the fourth. There's lots of reasons why they're loyal, but this contributes. When they find the right partner that makes them feel like a king or queen, they don't need anything from the outside world, including spending time with friends, but we'll get to that a little later on in the video. Unfortunately, Taurus risings have to go through some trial and error relationships before they find the one where they are spoiled at home. See, my little Taurus risings are earth signs, and earth loves homeostasis. Now, homeostasis just means balance. Earth loves balanced things. That's why a lot of things in nature are symmetrical. Anyways, my little bulls, you are incredibly practical and reliable and dependable and balanced. And you can attract some characters in your life, especially in your romantic relationships. Well, just they just don't have their crap together. You can attract partners that need that balance or reliability or dependability. So what's that mean? Well, you find unbalanced or inconsistent or unreliable partners, especially before the age of 37. You can have some intense and passionate relationships in life. Your partners have probably been through some things, and you may attract partners who had a parent die when they were a child, or maybe you attract a partner who was abused as a child, or maybe they've gone to prison before, they've had a mental illness. And often you find with this placement, somehow this partner transforms you. After you break up, you can have a new way of thinking. You learn from breakups and you know what not to accept next time. But a loss of a relationship can be tough on a Taurus rising, although they probably will not show this to very many people. They can hold their cards close. They don't plan on breakups or divorces. They wouldn't commit if they did. But personal relationships force them to change their opinions on some things. You know, Taurus risings can come off stubborn, and they're not the ones to change their opinions or mind on things. So sometimes it takes actual experiences to get them to change their viewpoint. Also, Taurus risings are stubborn to a degree. If they are sure of their decision, you are not going to get them to change it. This is why some people confuse the heck out of Taurus risings. Because let's say someone messages the little Taurus rising, okay, and wants to hook up. The Taurus rising may say, hey, you know, that's just not my thing. And then the person says, well, come on, you know, it'll be fun. And then the Taurus rising can be a little confused, like, I just told them it wasn't my thing, so why didn't they just accept the truth? And the Taurus rising can say, you know, no. And then maybe this person says, well, you know, if you ever change your mind, just let me know. And the Taurus rising's gonna be over here, ever change my mind? Like, are they crazy? Why would I ever change my mind? I'm telling you no now because I never plan to change my mind. But there are times where they may change their mind on things, but they do it on their own terms. No one changes their mind for them. They love to be the kings or the queens of their castle. And if a man has this placement, he can like being the center of attention at the home. Not necessarily out in public, depending on other aspects in his chart, but he can be a man that likes to be catered to at his house. So his house is clean and ready for him when he arrives, and the best homemade, freshest dinner that you can whip up to serve him. And he can't wait to be treated like a king. And actually, he probably thinks that he deserves to be treated like a king. Now, once you get a Taurus rising to commit, they will want to grow and merge with you. And they love to bond with you by traveling and experiencing new things together and trying new food and going new places. They want to make as many memories as possible with you. And let's talk about when Taurus risings have children. They are some of my most favorite parents of the zodiac when they are involved. Typically, they want to raise their children to be productive members of society. So they do very practical things for their children. They may start them a savings account or a college fund. They can teach their kids how to do taxes or how to balance a checkbook or how to paint a room or how to fix a vacuum or how to mow a yard. They want to teach their kids things that will help them when they are an adult. The shadow side of this is they can be very demanding or critical of their children. So just watch out for this, my little Taurus risings. You probably don't feel like you're being demanding or critical. You probably feel like you just want what's best for your kids. but your kids may not view it this way. Now, earlier in this video, I said the dreaded I word. That is not in Taurus's vocabulary. Inconsistent. I said they can be inconsistent with friends. And what I mean by that is there are times when a Taurus rising will want to be out with their friends. And then there are times they want to be in their home surrounded by their comforts and their family. Their socialization meter with friends kind of ebbs and flows. There's times in life where they hang out with them, and then there's times where they are more focused on their home. And Taurus risings love their sleep and their rest and their relaxation. And they can feel lazy when they do it, but it's much deserved. And sometimes you can find that a Taurus rising has some sort of sweet tooth. They do have to watch and not overindulge in things. And this goes for all things. Too many sweets can cause diabetes. Too much food can cause obesity. Too much alcohol and wine can cause cirrhosis. So just be careful, my little bulls, with overindulging. And my little Taurus risings can love to live on some land. They don't necessarily want to be the ones living in an apartment in the middle of the city. Can you imagine a bull in the city? Except the bull on Wall Street, New York City. You know, that makes perfect sense why that is there, Taurus risings. It's the only place in the city that you would be caught. They love nature and plants, so it wouldn't surprise me to see a Taurus rising with a yard or a garden or a place where they can get away. Speaking of getting away, if you are a Taurus rising and you love coloring to rest and relax after you're working so hard, then I invite you to get my coloring book on Amazon. I made this coloring book because I got tired of not finding any high quality coloring books. I wanted something that was not filled with random generated AI art or these quotes that were just super generic. So I filled this coloring book up with quotes that have meaning and artwork that was not generated by AI. Also, I wanted a coloring book where there was only one picture per page so I could hang the ones up that I liked. I love filling up my office with new artwork to change up the scenery. Also, I put all different levels of coloring in this book. You know, there's times when I have a lot of time to color, and then there's times where I do not. So I made sure to have some pictures that are simple as well as some that are complex. I just love how this coloring book turned out. In fact, I'm working on a second one where Grandma will be giving you even more life advice. You can find these coloring books on Amazon. I will leave a link in the description. I've had so much fun with you today, my little Taurus risings, as we unpacked what it's like to have this energy in your chart. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Mwah!